friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively. I'm working with Hues of Happiness again. I like it a lot. So I own my crazy today. It's been crazy. I don't know why. If you're familiar with Stampin' Up! And you're watching this, I'm recording this on April 30th, which is actually our oldest son's birthday. Our oldest son is 36 today. We just called and sang happy birthday to him. So as I'm recording this, I'm also getting ready for open house on Monday. And currently, I feel like I've got 3 catalogs. I've got the one that's going out next week, the one that's coming in next week, and then the January to June catalog. So I feel like I'm a little, I've got a lot going on, but I really like the Hues of Happiness. And as I was working with it, I wanted to make it look a little different as I was coloring it and working with it. I wanted my flowers to look a little bit more like these. These look a little brushy to me, not super meticulous. So I was kind of struggling with what technique, and so I came up with something that I really like. Here's the paper. I love all the colors. It's super bright. It's got a lot of our, those bright colors, the in colors. I feel like it coordinates with a lot of stuff. I like the papers because on the back, it also has some great patterns. A lot of them look like washed paper. So I started playing with it, and I did these 2 cards, which I liked. Again, the technique was a little bit different. So I'm going to show you kind of how I did that. This one, I cut them out. I added the background. In the dies, it comes with this die that cuts out that background pattern. So it just gives it an interesting pattern. I ran it through the brick embossing folder. So that's the way this one looks. Added a happy birthday greeting, and of course I love the gingham ribbon, which stayed, thank you. Then this one, I just did it on I did it on shimmering white, which is what I'm gonna show you, and then I ran it through. And then I used the brick again. And this is Freesia. This is Blushing Bride and Flamingo. Okay, so let me show you how I did that. So I've cut my piece of Whisper White, and I use that die that's in here that looks like it's been ripped out of your sketchbook. And so I'm going to use Memento ink. I'm going to stamp my large flower first. I'm going to put it down here. And I'm going to stamp it on. Then I'm going to mask it. Wait a minute. There it is. I had it all lined up so I wouldn't have to do that. I'm going to put this flower up here. I'm going to add a couple of leaves. I really like these leaves. I love a good mask. We forget to do that sometimes. Okay, so now I've got all my flowers on here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it with my watercolor pencils. Stampin' Up! Gives us so many cool things to color with. I've chosen the watercolor pencils this time because I saw somebody do this technique and I was really intrigued by it. So I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to color the center. I'm going to hit the centers of both of them. One of the things about watercolor pencils, if you get them too sharp, they're a little bit linier than if they're a little flat. So I try not to over sharpen them because then I don't like that really definite line. So this is the Rich Razzleberry. And I'm going to hit some of the darker spots on this flower. The places that I want to be a little bit darker. And again, it's a little linier than what I like. I try not to push too hard. Sometimes I'll even swirl it, and then I just anything to avoid those lines, because it always seems like those lines are just a little bit harder for me to get out. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to put this in. I'm going to go over to this flower and do a little bit where I want those darker spots. And now I try to do a Facebook Live on Wednesdays. And this week I got to go over to St. Louis because our oldest granddaughter, Ruby, turned a whole 8 years old. Okay, this is the Flirty Flamingo, and it's got a real flat end, which is just going to be easier for me to blend those colors the way I want. So Ruby was 8. We had a birthday party with 12 8-year-olds, which was fantastic. If you got a catalog from me, you got one of my favorite pins in it, and I took those pins over for the girls, and they thought those were amazing. And then I made a cake and made her favorite breakfast, and I was there from Sunday till Wednesday, and then Wednesday Gammy had to come back home. She's got a new catalog coming out. She had stuff to do. So now I'm going to hit these leaves. This is the garden green. I'm going to hit the tops of these leaves. And then this is the granny apple. Oh, this don't have no tip at all. And because I have multiple sets, I'm gonna, who knows what happened to that tip? Add some granny apple to it. And then I want my image to kind of have some depth. And so you can either take like a basic gray, or you can take a blue and kind of go around the outside of it a little bit. And it just kind of gives it some depth and some interest. On this one, I used the gray. So this one, I'm going to use the blue, just so you can see the difference. So I'm going to take this around and just kind of lightly go in some of these spots. You don't need a lot of color, or a lot of it, because we're just going to blend it in. And again, this gave me the look that I was going for, to look a little bit more like I wanted to by the designer series paper. Because, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the blends. I love to watercolor I like coloring with our stamp pads and refills. I just like to color. I always think I need music to color by, though. Okay, so now, here we go. All right. Now, what I'm going to use is my color lifter. I could use a blender pen, I could use water, there's all kinds of things I can use, but I am going to use my color lifter. I just really liked the way it blended my colors. I'm going to start out here, and I'm just going to make a circular motion. And my goal is to get rid of those pencil lines and kind of lighten things up. I'm so excited about the new catalog. My open house is so much fun. I do it every year. There's treats and fun things, and I do door prizes all the time. You can get coupons for stuff. It just makes me happy. I have coupon books. Okay, so now I've gone around the outside. And you see how I've kind of shaded that? And I can keep going. I can keep pulling it out. It'll pull it a little bit. Pull it out a little far. The color lifter doesn't really move my color. Okay, how can I? The color lifter doesn't really move the color out. It just takes the lines away. Okay, so now we're going to go in and do the flower. Are you ready to be impressed? We'll do the leaves first. This just looked more like the paper to me. And I don't have to, see, I can go up here and take the color off, but there's really not a ton of it. Okay, so there's really not a ton of color on it. Okay, so now we're going to go in here and do this. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of go around in circles and blend those colors that I put down. It's really pretty quick. And again, it looks more like the paper to me. So I'm going to go with that flower, and I'm going to go with this flower. Okay, so then I can mount it so that it looks like this. Or I could cut it apart. These I die cut out because it comes with those great die cuts. There's all kinds of things I could do to finish the card, but I really like this look. See how it looks kind of like this paper where it's got those different shades of colors where it almost looks like pencil lines in it. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And don't forget to like this channel and like my video. Send me a comment. I like your comments. Unless you tell me my hair looks bad. If you think my hair looks bad, keep that one to yourself. All right, friends, have a good day. I will stamp with you again soon. I'll show you these one more time. Here's this one. That one. And then here's the one I did a minute ago. All right, friends, have a great day. Bye.